So the legacy media are coming about as hard as they possibly can after Elon Musk and X. They have so much to lose. So I'm not surprised that they're coming after him. They're giving a pass to the actual anti-Semites on the campuses and filling the streets of cities around the world, meanwhile blasting Elon for a single post on X. You can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, Tesla stock continues to push higher with the company's fundamentals in amazing shape. There's no equal, not even close. And then the underlying strength on every level, combined with a potential, I think, that has never been seen by any other company in history. And that's true for both robotaxis and Optimus, and maybe for some other divisions as well. So as things are going along so far this morning, the equity and bond markets are opening very strong. Tesla has been flirting around with break even. They were higher in the beginning, and then they've gone a little bit lower the last time I checked. But of course, at the end of the show, we will take a look and see where Tesla is at that point. All right, this is Randy Kirk. Hit like, please, and hit subscribe, hit notify. What we've got coming up today is we've got I'll be taking your questions and answers. So I'll be looking back over the last few days and seeing what some of the comments have been, responding to those comments. But if you could put your comments in right now, or even your questions, things you'd like to know about Tesla, about Elon, about any of his companies, or about me personally, you put those questions right now, and I'll respond to those around 11 o'clock California time later today. Then around 5 o'clock tonight, we've got probably Jeff Lutz joining us for the first time as co-host. Now, he's been on a couple of times as a guest, but now he's going to be co-hosting on Good News Wednesdays. So that'll be the first time, maybe tonight. It might not be until next week. Okay, and then we also need to know, oh yeah, by the way, this is roughly the 1-year anniversary. I think it would have been actually a week ago. I kind of missed it. I went back and looked last night, but roughly speaking, we've been on for a year now. 4.1 million views in that first year. I just can't thank you guys enough. It's pretty darn exciting. I never actually anticipated that this show would be so successful. And then you can make it more successful by joining Patreon, giving me a tip, $5 a month. $10 a month. You get $10 a month, you get one of these for free. Remember, right now, the Black Friday special has already started. It's going to go through Monday night. $20, doesn't matter how many you buy. We had the place, my email lit up yesterday. More individual orders in a single day than ever. $20 a piece, doesn't matter. 100, I don't care how many you buy, but do please add the $20 if you are outside the country. And then remember to put whether you want camo or regular. It saves a couple of emails back and forth. All right. What do we got going on here? Let's look into the details. Sam Altman. Have you already heard the news? He is back as CEO at OpenAI. I can only say that means the drama will continue, because can you imagine some of these employees and ex-employees wrote that letter yesterday. Everybody has commented about whether Sam Altman is a genius or a horrible boss. I mean, oh my goodness. Whether it's profits over safety or safety over profits. Wow. I think the drama is going to continue. Bonds dropped well under 4.4 in the early going, and Truflation is now headed back down to 3.02. All these things are really, really solid. I'm very, very excited about this. I'm sorry, that kind of jumped in the middle of the continuing story. There was more to say about Sam Altman. Elon Musk said OpenAI being semi-independent is probably better for the world than merging with Microsoft, less concentration of power. Now we're going on to a new story, but it's still corporate. So that's kind of a nice transition. A couple of days ago, I recommended you check out a video by Dave Lee. In that video, and subsequently in a couple of posts, he recommended that Elon Musk set up a more concrete relationship between X.ai, the new company that is, got Grok and will be doing artificial intelligence, set up a more concrete relationship between that company and Tesla, not just kind of this loosey-goosey one, but rather that Tesla should actually buy shares in X.ai, spend actual dollars, which would give X.ai financial help that they probably are going to need, and at the same time make this relationship more concrete. Elon Musk, replying to Hey Dave, said this morning he will discuss the idea with the board. So there you go. Maybe those of us who own shares in Tesla will now get a piece of the new X.ai. Let's see. Berlinergy on X said this morning that Tesla's total market share in Europe per year to date as of is 2.7. This is market share, overall market share, not market share of the BEV market, but overall market share increased from 1.6 last year to 2.7 this year. Tesla volume is up 100%. Total market is up 16.7% versus the BEV market is now at 45%. I'm sorry. The total market, Tesla EVs, Tesla's product is now 16.7 of the total market. So that would be, up substantially from what we said earlier, 1.6 to 2.7 over last year. And of the total BEV market is 45% of the total BEV market in Europe. Tesla Radar is reporting this morning that Tesla will appear in the first ever China International Supply Chain Expo later this month, set to be held in Beijing. I've seen this now been reported a couple, 3 different places. The articles never say why it's significant, why it's important, why it matters. Well, this is a supply chain expo. That means Tesla isn't going there to show off their cars. That means Tesla is specifically spending time, money, and energy to let the OEMs of the world know that they are prepared to supply them with parts and or licenses. It's no longer Elon just saying up and saying, oh, yes, if somebody wants FSD, we'll sell it to them. No, this is a proactive. What have I been asking for? I think all the way back in the Elon Musk mission, I said they need proactive. They need teams, sales teams that are going out and talking to OEMs. They need sales teams that are going out and talking to the taxi companies, to the rental car companies. They need these teams to go out and to start selling Tesla to these organizations. This is very exciting, in my opinion, that they're going to the show to talk about the fact that they're willing to sell parts and or licenses to OEMs. MarketWatch reports on the first-time jobless claims this morning. The headline number looks bad. It is, as usual, you got to look into the details. So apparently the stock market looked into the details this morning because the jobless claims did not slow it down from going up substantially. So new jobless claims dropped 24,000 to 200 and what would that be? 209,000. Economists did forecast new claims coming in at 229, so that was substantially less. But while layoffs are still historically low, other reports show that the businesses are hiring fewer people and the tight labor market appears to have loosened a bit. The claims report included signs of weakness. Actual claims before seasonal adjustments rose to the highest level since the summer. I don't necessarily care about that so much because I want to hear that seasonally adjusted number. The number of unadjusted claims topped 200,000 for the third week in a row and touched the highest level since July at 238,000. Totaled less than 200,000. They had totaled less than that since then. New jobless claims also rose in 39 states and territories that report these figures to the federal government. They fell in 14 other states. Now, here's the big one. Unemployment claims typically surge above 300,000 and eventually go to a lot higher when a recession approaches. So far, the economy does not appear to be in that danger zone. So Goldilocks. The number of people collecting unemployment benefits in the U.S., meanwhile, declined for the first time in 8 weeks to 1.84 million. Still, the gradual rise in these so-called continuing claims is a sign it is taking longer for people to find new jobs. Again, Goldilocks. From Reuters this morning, this is important, okay? You're going to see this headline everywhere. Circuit Judge Reed Scott greenlit a lawsuit against Tesla last week that accuses the company of intentional misconduct and gross negligence over a fatal crash involving the autopilot driver assist system. What you won't see repeated anywhere, and I've looked at all the articles, nobody's reporting this. This is a pre-trial. Remember, I have a law degree. That doesn't mean I know anything, but I'm going to tell you as best as I can tell, and I think I'm 100% right on this. This is a pretrial finding that is allowing, greenlit, this is allowing the trial to go forward. It is not a finding of fact. It is a finding that a reasonable jury could eventually find the facts. That's all it's talking about. They could reasonably come to the conclusion. So therefore, the trial can go forward. The plaintiff still has to prove their case, and Tesla's going to be defending it. The mainstream media is making it sound like it's a fait accompli. It is not. All right. So Gary Black says this morning, some of the media, here we go again. Some of the media are making a big deal about new U.S. inventory discounts on the Model Y. Discounts vary by trim, but can range up to 7%. As we have pointed out before, this is Gary talking, as we've pointed out before, there's a huge difference between inventory discount and configurator price cuts. First, in theory, a inventory discount is in theory a temporary discount to clear excess production over orders. All the Elon noise over last week could be causing orders to be light and impacts current quarters, etc. So in other words, he's saying maybe they're giving these discounts on inventory because last week things lightened up a bit while people are screaming and yelling in the mainstream media about what Elon Musk is up to. I don't know that affected things. What we might be seeing, I've been seeing a little lightness in my Amazon shipments right now, not in the Cybertruck shipments, just in overall shipments going into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So people may not be wanting to spend out of their down payments right now to buy a car while they want to, lock in their Christmas gifts and whatnot on this coming Friday. All right, so that's all the news. Let's look at where the market is right now. So we've got Tesla down $4.36 now. It was up in the early going, but is now down. This is a trend I've seen. It was happening a couple of weeks ago and then a couple of days last week where the Tesla opens strong and then there's this sell-off and then it bounces back before the end of the day. But in general, the markets have softened. The NASDAQ is still up 0.43. The Dow Jones is still up 0.33 and the S&P is up 0.32. So all three roughly about the same amount, but all three have headed down from their highs earlier this morning. And then Tesla is running ahead of that. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't think it is that those numbers that we just gave you with regard to the unemployment numbers, because it wouldn't take 2 seconds to dig into those and see it's not a problem. We do have the Magnificent Seven also tapped off and heading down. NVIDIA is down negative after being positive also earlier and down strongly, down 3.17%. Tesla down 2% at this point. So there's some kind of a sell-off. Don't know the reasons why right now. We've got all of the Cathie Woods also in the green, but many of them are topping and heading lower. I'm sorry, I won't going to have time to figure out why that's happening, other than possibly just profit taking. This market was up extremely strong in the early going. All right, let's look into the rest of the details here. What we have is we have the Bitcoin at 36.3 down again this morning. We have got the dollar rebounding a bit from its 10% drop. We have gold still staying slightly over 2,000 at 2004. We have got oil at $74.55 back down and starting to look like it might test the 70s. So apparently what happened with the oil deal is that OPEC put off their meeting by 4 days, and people took that as a sign that the lobbyists weren't able to get the various countries to agree to more cuts. So that's how people are interpreting that. Then we've got bonds, as mentioned, under 4.4 at 4.391, down almost 3 basis points. We have got the 2-month up slightly, but call it break even. The 2-year almost up 1 basis point. So that inversion spreading out a little bit this morning. But the 10-year, as mentioned, down. I'm sorry, the 10-year yields down. That means the underlying bond value has risen when the yields are down. Once again, taking a quick look at the stocks, Tesla is now seeming to hit a bottom and beginning to move back up again. In fact, all of the markets in general seem to have found their bottom now and are thinking about going back up again. Okay, so let me just mention one more time, $20, period. You buy one, you buy 100, it's $20. That is from now until Monday night. Tuesday, it goes back to 25, 45, 65 for 1, 2, or 3, and you have to buy 20 in order to get that $20 price point. Please remember to indicate whether you want camo or regular when you place your order. Send that money to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. And if you're outside the country, add $20, however large the order is. And then what else? Oh, yes. And then, of course, if you join Patreon at the $10 level, you get it for free. You save that $20. And that would be so appreciated. Had a little bit of a dearth of folks joining Patreon this week. So it'd be nice to see a few more folks jumping in and helping out the channel, just helping the channel to be stronger and to pay me what I'm worth. I mean, come on, guys. So what else have I got? I think that's all I've got for you this morning. I know at the end, I always just look one more time to see what's happening with Tesla. Flattening out at down 1.84 or down $4.44. So that's all I got. See you in a few hours. Remember, put in your comments. I'll be answering comments, questions, any questions you have. I'll try to answer those later this morning. It has been great talking to you.